on their experiences, and they're going to be sharing their thoughts. So we're super excited about that. Followed by that, we have a Q&A session, and it'll be at the end. So if anyone has any questions regarding healthy homes and how to win this campaign and get healthy homes for all tenants, drop your questions in the chat, please, and we'll try our best to answer them. We may not be able to answer all, but as with all Acorn events, we do what we can, because we like to give everyone the chance to speak. However, to avoid background noise, people will be muted. When you drop your questions in the chat section or message Shirin with your phone or email, she will follow up. So yeah, just really excited. I can feel the energy. We're gonna have a good energy tonight, and basically there's so many amazing people on the call. We should definitely raise our hands and say what chapter we're from. So just gonna start now. If you could please raise your hand if you are from the Downtown Acorn chapter. Downtown Acorn chapter, please raise your hands. Woo, I see a couple hands going. Oh, wow, good. Good to see lots of representation from Downtown chapter. That's awesome. Next, we have East York. Do we have folks here from the East York chapter? Woohoo, I see some hands. This is good. I see thumbs up too. Excellent. We got good folks here from East York. How about Weston? Who's here from Weston? Show me your hands, please. Woohoo! I see a lot of enthusiasm from Weston. That's awesome. Next, we have Etobicoke. Who's here from the Etobicoke chapter? Let us know. Raise your hands. Give a thumbs up. Woohoo! We've got representation from Etobicoke. Next, I'm going to call and see if we have people from Scarborough. Who's from Scarborough on the line? Woohoo, I see some Scarborough people raising their hands. Hands up, that's awesome. And last but not least, York West. Do we have people from York West? Let's see your hands, York West. Awesome, we do have people from York West here. Woo! Now, finally, I see that there may be some people from outside the city. Is there anybody here from Peel, Hamilton, Ottawa, maybe Nova Scotia, BC? If we have any of those. Oh, we've got Cece from Nova Scotia Acorn. Welcome from Nova Scotia. That's awesome. All right. So without further ado, I am going to pass it over to Ryan, and he's going to do a land acknowledgement and recognition. Ryan?
Oh, there. There we go. I was saying I couldn't unmute myself when I was like panicking. All right, thank you. I'm Ryan. Just before we get started, let's first recognize our First Nations brothers and sisters and acknowledge that across Canada, we are often on the unceded and unsurrendered lands and territories of various nations. We are on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. Through recognition comes understanding, and with understanding and compassion, we can be agents of change for a better future together. And as we go through this town hall, because words without action and material conditions changing are somewhat meaningless, let's keep the First Nations front and center in our minds as we discuss these issues and consider the impact we can have on their houses, the people that were here before us, and make sure they're included in our community. Thank you. And we're just going to do a quick overview of what is Acorn. It's a community and tenant union made up of low and moderate income people fighting for changes they want to see in their communities. We have campaigns on many things, including affordable housing, fair banking, affordable childcare, as well as obviously healthy homes, as well as many more. Acorn Canada started in Western Toronto in 2004, and we are now spread across the country. We fight for affordable housing, homes, and to raise a minimum wage and fight together as community, because through organizing ourselves, we are better equipped to fight for social justice and economic justice for ourselves and others. We are growing every day, and we believe in the power of numbers. Importantly, we are a member-run union and believe that the people united can never be defeated. And there has just been a slight change to our thing. So for time's sake, we're actually going to go right into some Acorn testimonials, starting off with Alejandro. So I'm going to pass it over to him. Thank you.
Everyone can hear me? Can anybody can hear me?
We can hear you, Alejandro. Oh, nope, you're on mute. Oh, you're still on mute. Oh, Alejandro, you're on mute.
It was working for a second, then it went off on you.
Yeah, can you hear me now, right?
Yes, we hear you loud and clear. There you go.
Okay,
internet.
Perfect. So I'm just gonna share. Sorry about that. So I'm gonna share my testimony very quickly. So my name, like I say, my name is Alejandro, and I'm a member of Acorn for the last 2 years. I in the downtown chapter. And so residents in my community here at North St. James Towns has struggled for many years because of neglect by landlords, especially for Toronto community housing. We have experienced for years with pest infestations, maintenance, repairs, and fire safety issues that put the lives of tenants at risk. I'll give you one example, for instance, so you can understand the magnitude of not following the maintenance, repair, pest control, and all those issues that actually have a big impact in our lives. So many years ago, like 10 years ago, we had one of those biggest fires in the entire city. It happens here at 200 Wellesley Street East. And many residents are still struggling with trauma because of the loss that they went through and because of this displacement that many people actually experience displacement for more than 6 months and up to a year. So that has an impact on all of us in our safety and our well-being as well. And that happens, by the way, because Toronto Community Housing, the landlord in this case, ignore completely the concerns regarding fire safety issues from residents for a long time. Also, it's important for us to keep the elevators in good maintenance conditions, because many people live in this community. We are probably more than 1,200 people living in this single building. And so the elevators are not working properly. People simply stuck downstairs waiting for hours to get the elevators and go to their homes. So I think it's important for all of us to understand that fire safety issues, pest controls, maintenance and repairs are important issues that impact our mental health and our physical health as well. And they are social determinants of our health that needs to be addressed. And if maintenance and repairs is not done properly, that will make our health even worse. So we have a complaint system in Toronto Community Housing, but it is not being implemented. And that complaint system has been recommended by the city ombudsman, but they are not compliant with this complaint system, as this complaint information is not available for all the residents in the common area. So nobody can actually know how to make a complaint and to get something done on those issues. So I think it's important to know, like I said, this pest control, this maintenance and repairs, and fire safety, right? Those are important factors in our health and in our lives. And so we don't get it right, there's the risk that this can impact to such a degree that can threaten our lives, our health, and our well-being as a community. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Alejandro. We really appreciate you giving your testimony. We have just a bit of time now to speak with Councillor Matlow. He's got to go to another event shortly. Councillor Matlow, are you on the line? Oh,
I am
perfect.
indeed. Hi.
Excellent. Hello. We
Yeah,
just
hi.
have a couple of quick questions for you. After hearing Alejandro's very powerful testimonial, we're wondering, and we completely welcome any suggestions you have to help move our Healthy Homes campaign forward. They'd be greatly appreciated.
Thank you. Well, thank you for that moving testimonial, and thank you for holding this meeting, and thanks for inviting me and Anthony here tonight. I really appreciate how you're organizing, and I think it is critical that you are, and certainly as we are entering both a municipal and a provincial election year, I think your timing is good because to say it very plainly, election years are typically when politicians need you more than you need them. So it's a good time to get their attention and make sure that they understand your priorities, along with what Acorn has always been really good at, which is organizing on the ground. An example of that is when we worked together a few years ago, when I brought forward the Rent Safe initiative to council itself. It was a tag team approach where I, along with my colleagues, including Anthony and others, navigated the initiative to create Rent Safe through the committee and the council process, while you organized on the ground to put rightful pressure on certain councillors to make sure that they were supportive of us. We got it through committee by 1 vote, and then we were able to get a strong vote at council against the lobbyists who were trying to kill it. And not only did we get Rent Safe approved, we also got more inspectors actually hired to support the audits and the important work that we need to get done to make sure that your homes are healthy and are safe and are respected. But in the past year, we had a setback. As part and parcel of our campaign, we also demanded that we wanted color-coded signs to do 2 things. One, I would submit, put understandable shame on landlords who are not keeping their buildings and your homes safe and healthy. And there were some voices on council who said, well, what about, is that not just going to stigmatize and shame the tenants? And our response was, well, nothing could stigmatize and shame tenants more than having unsafe and unhealthy homes. That's already happening. We want to put the focus on landlords like the Dine Safe program and make sure that they feel the pressure of stepping it up and being good landlords. The other thing is we want to make sure that we have color-coded signs like Dine Safe to let prospective tenants know what they're walking into before they sign anything or move in. In other words, you should have a right to know when you visit an apartment that you may want to move into and call it your home, whether or not that landlord is a good landlord or an awful landlord. You should be aware of that. So in a nutshell, there were counselors, as I won't rehash it all because it was an awful experience and we don't have the time, but there were counselors who spoke against it. And then the dominoes started falling. I think it allowed for more right-wing counselors and the mayor to then have the cover to vote against it. And I think that we need to ramp up our collective campaign, those of us at council on your behalf, to navigate it through another vote, and for you to organize on the ground to make sure that that both elected counselors and oppositional candidates are aware that they need to put it on their platform and they need to make commitments. I'll conclude on this. What we have to figure out together, and I've been talking to members of Acorn along with other like-minded allies, is our timing. We're going to have to figure out, we don't want to do something and then lose the vote again. That'll put us deeper in a hole. So we want to make sure that we have a sense that we've got the votes collected, that we've got the we've got the ability to get it through. And that's why what you're already doing, which is speaking with counselors who we believe will perhaps be open to those conversations, or at least there's a possibility of gaining their support. I think we need to do our research now to make sure that we are going into a vote honestly believing that we're going to win it. And if we can do that this year, so be it. We'll bring another motion back and we'll get it done this year. If we don't believe we're going to win this year, I prefer to put the pressure on during the elections to make sure that all of us make a commitment to support it. So then when we have a new council, we have the votes, and we also know that we don't have to get a 2/3 majority. So I'll sum it up at that, just because there's only so much time tonight. And frankly, this is a whole strategy session that we could do together. But I am committed to not only doing the work that I've done with you in the past, obviously to get rent safe through and make our efforts on the color-coded signs and supporting healthy and safe and respected and cared for homes and communities across our city. But as you move forward with your campaign, if I can, and I'm sure Anthony and other like-minded allies at council would say the same thing, if we can be resources for you, a place to lay your figurative hat at our office, so to speak, just let us know how we can help, and I will be there for you every step of the way. And I'm really grateful for what you do, and a real pleasure to be with you. Thank you.
Councillor Matlow, thank you so much. Thank you for your words of support and encouragement, and we appreciate working with you on this really important campaign. Thank you so much for your time as well.
And thanks for your understanding about the other commitment that I already had tonight, but I did want to make a point of being here for even a little while. And I have no doubt that this is one of many more conversations we'll have soon. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I see that people have hands up and would like to ask questions, but just to let everyone know, there will be an opportunity later. We've got a pretty packed agenda, but we will have an opportunity for your questions later, because your questions are very important. So we'll go now to the next testimonial, which is from Felisa Talbot. Felisa, are you on the line and good to go?
Hello, yes, I'm here.
Oh, hello.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, great.
Over to you.
Thank you. Okay, my name is Felicia, and I'm just recently joined Acorn, probably about a month ago. And I do have a few concerns regarding safe and healthy homes. One, mold around the windows, cracking paint, which is due to very poor ventilation, holes and cracks in the walls, but yet the hallways, stairwells, and doors were painted and they look very nice. However, there's a bigger issue inside of a unit, as I'm sure there are many others, and that being poor ventilation. In the summer, it's like, I would say, hot as heck in here. In the winter, it's the opposite. I have a son who has asthma, and it can very easily turn into something else due to the poor ventilation. I wonder, or my question is, with respect to that, if TCHC wouldn't be able to provide fans or even air purifiers to clean the air. There's also the issue with mice playing tag around the living room area, bathroom, wherever they can get, roaches, bed bugs. And this is, I've had treatment, and it's got to the point where my son has gone out and spent almost $200 on those plugins. I guess they are supposed to deter these little critters. I have had treatment. By the way, I do live in Beaches at 33 Coatsworth. There are two wonderful supers here. Also, the other concern is when it comes to trying to do the unit inspections. They will come in. The two things that they look at are the smoke detector and the carbon monoxide detector. They don't check for anything else. why not have tenants do these inspections with the supers? Because after all, it is the tenants that live in the units, and who better would know the issues. So that's some of my concerns. You know, and then there's the outdated heating system. So yeah, these are my concerns. So my big question is, you know, when will these repairs get done? You know, when will this poor ventilation system be taken care of, among the other issues that we have? So thank you very much for listening. That's my thought.
Thank you so, oh, sorry, Felisa. Thank you so much for your testimony. That was really powerful, and you put some really good suggestions in there too. You know, with when the superintendent goes into your unit to check the smoke detector and the carbon monoxide detector, they should be looking for more than that. And it's their duty really to do that. And I think that's brilliant. Yeah, and I don't think anyone on the call would disagree. So thank you so much for that. Now we're going to go to Shelly Ann. Shelly Ann, are you on the line? Shelly Ann?
Hi, good evening.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank
Good
you.
evening.
Good evening. Thank you so much, Shelly Ann. Over to you whenever you're ready.
Okay. And to all the councillors, Acorn members, and everyone else here present this evening, a pleasant good afternoon. It's ironic that we are living in one of the wealthiest countries in the world, but yet many tenants are facing ongoing issues, uncomfortable issues like bed bugs and other pests, unfinished repairs. We talk about affordable and healthy homes, but yet so many tenants are being evicted. I was evicted from my home for being 2 weeks late on my rent. We have enough disrespect from landlords. Last week, one of my friends was telling me that where she's living, right in the walkway, she have a neighbor, that dog that would poo right in front of the walkway, and she brought it to the landlord attention. The landlord response to her was, I understand, but when you're ready, you can hand in your 60 days notice. How fair is that to tenants? We are pushing for changes. Changes to have comfortable homes, to feel comfortable where we are living. Tenants have to spend money from their own pocket to get repairs done. And the landlords are getting away, and not being held accountable for it. To all the councillors, I would like you to think about this question. If I can pay $2,000 for rent plus utility bills, shouldn't I be given the opportunity to pay my own mortgage? My name is Shelly Ann Allen, and I have been a member of Acorn from June of 2019. Thank you for letting me share.
Sorry, thank you so much, Shelly Ann. That was an amazing testimony. You brought up some really good points. And I'm looking forward to hearing what our guests have to say in response to your questions. Absolutely. Thank you again. Next, we have Samantha Williams, and she's going to give her testimony now. Samantha, are you on the line?
Hello.
Oh, hello, Samantha.
Hi.
Hello, over to you. You can go ahead whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you, Ria. Good evening, everyone. My name is Samantha Williams, and I'm a member of Acorn. Renters at 10 Sandra Manaway have been facing a number of problems over the years. With no end in sight and frustration mounting, tenants are voicing the problems they are facing. Renters are demanding repairs at 10 Sandra Manaway. They pay rent every month, yet the landlord never does work orders on time. The recently added renters portal, which was put in place so that the renters can request repairs online, is the only means of communication between the renters and the landlord. This is a huge inconvenience as most of the older tenants who are unfamiliar with technology or the fact that they cannot afford the internet that companies are offering are left without a way in which to request repairs. If landlord is pushing the renters portal as the only medium of communication between renters and landlord, then they should make sure all tenants can have access to affordable internet in order to do so. Another problem that tenants are facing at 10 Sandra Manaway is pest control. Roaches, rats, and bedbugs outnumber the tenants by far. A number of tenants had to be hospitalized because of bedbug bites. The landlord tries to solve the problem by moving tenants from one apartment to another, with tenants believing the new apartment will be pest-free, all need to be met with the same unacceptable condition. Rent increase during this pandemic is causing a lot of families to sink deeper into poverty. Having to choose whether to feed your families, send your children to school fed, or pay a ridiculous amount of rent causes a lot of renters into desperation and depression. What renters need right now at 10 San Romano Way, like many other buildings in the city of Toronto, is swift action. Action to protect their health and their safety. Thank you.
Oh, sorry, guys. Thank you so much, Samantha. That was really very much appreciated. We really, needed to hear your testimonial, just as we did with all the testimonials so far. It was very powerful. Next, we'll go to Carla. Carla, are you on the line? Oh, do we have Carla?
Yeah, here I am.
Oh, hi, Carla. Oh, I just got a message actually. Anthony has to go. Is that Anthony Peruzza? Councillor Peruzza?
Okay,
Yes,
go ahead.
that is. Okay, I'm so sorry, Carla.
It's okay.
We're definitely, we do want to hear your testimonial. We should. I've already seen a pre-snip of it. It looks amazing. We'll just quickly go to Councillor Peruzza. Councillor Peruzza, are you on the line?
Hi, sorry, this is his staffer here. Please just give him one moment. He'll be right here.
Okay, sounds good.
Maybe the next person can go and he'll go after that.
Sure, that would be great. Carla, you,
Okay,
yeah.
you're ready to go?
I am. Do you hear any background noise?
Nope, everything sounds good.
Okay, thanks. Okay, let me get here to the agenda. Oh God. I'm sorry. Okay, here I am. My name is Carla. I just recently joined Acorn, sorry. And but I've been calling for the last couple of months because this sounded like I need to get my voice together with the other ones. So I have been living here for in this building for the last 21 years or so. And the terrible management and unhealthy living conditions have been making my mental and physical health deteriorate. There are significant hidden issues in the building that is every winter, and then it's always being repaired, but you get sick with this weather the way it is right now, and not having hot water, no water. So I haven't had holes on my holes for as long as 4 years or so, made by then, because well, these pipes are not working well, and some people use it to the streams, not for a residential place. So, um, my question is, why are not are the landlords to held accountable for this? The management discriminates and harass tenants. Tenants feel intimidated, go to management to file complaints and to stand up for their um, any problems, including repairs, of course, that's most relevant circumstance here. This is an unfair, and tenants should have to live in fear in their own homes, even though sometimes you don't feel like this is your home. Tenants need a proper and healthy home, and it's also a health and safety concern, both mental and physical. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carla. That was great to hear. Thank you for
Thanks
that.
to you.
Thank you so
Thanks, Lord.
much. Now I'm just going to pass it over to Councillor Peruzza. Councillor Peruzza, are you on the line? Councillor Peruzza?
I'm so sorry. It looks like he may not be back yet. So maybe if you want to just go ahead, and I can give you a nudge when he's in.
Oh, that would be great. Thank you so much. We'll
Sorry
go
about
ahead.
that.
No, that's okay. We look forward to hearing from them a little later on in the meeting. No, that sounds good. Okay, so now we've had our testimonials, and when Councillor Peruzza's returned, we will ask him some questions about how he thinks we can move forward with our campaign for healthy homes. In the meantime, we also have Jasmine. She's the assistant to Councillor Nunziata. Jasmine, are you on the line? Jasmine?
I can't. Hi everyone.
Hello.
Yeah, sorry,
Hi.
issue with unmuting myself.
Oh, no worries. Jasmine, thank you so much for joining the call and representing Councillor Nunziata at this town hall. I'm just going to say that, we would welcome any suggestions that you or Councillor Nunziata have to help move our Healthy Homes campaign forward. That would be greatly appreciated. As we've said with Councillor Matlow, we would definitely welcome that. We'd also be happy to send our demands for healthy homes, the 2022 campaign demands, which we'll get to later in the town hall. We'd be happy to send those demands, as well as the testimonials that were just given by members, to you and Councillor Nunziata in one package. We can definitely forward those to you. Just based on what you heard, what are your and Councillor Nunziata's thoughts?
I've appreciated listening to the testimonials, and it is concerning to hear. I would like to see some of the demands sent to our office, and you can also CC me, and I'm here to listen. And going forward, I believe that Councillor Nunziata can share her thoughts on how Acorn can see this move forward.
That sounds good. Thank you so much, Jasmine. We really appreciate your feedback, and we'll definitely be in touch with you and Councillor Nunziata. So we're going to move on in the agenda, and we're next going to go to our Healthy Homes campaign. There's a PowerPoint presentation that Gordon is going to give. Gordon, I'll turn it over to you.
Hello, can everybody hear me okay?
We can hear you.
Okay, great. My name is Gordon. I've been an Acorn member for a little bit over 2 years now. And I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of how we got to where we are now and the progress of the fight so far on the Healthy Homes issue. So to start things off, Acorn formed in 2004. The first neighborhood to form a chapter was Weston. And the first issue chosen by members was this one we're still working on today, Healthy Homes. Following that, Acorn formed chapters in Scarborough, Jane and Finch, and East York between 2004 and 2008. Now we still have 4 chapters. We campaign, organize, and put citywide pressure on the city council to license landlords. In 2006, council didn't vote for licensing, but did support targeted audits through a program called MRAB, Municipal Residential Apartment Building Audit and Enforcement Program. Acorn worked with the city extensively on the MRAB program, and Acorn organizers and members were heavily involved all over the city and even helped pick which buildings got the initial audits. The MRAB targeted around 100 buildings a year across the city and did help improve things, but tenants still face issues, as you all know. So we continue to organize, pressure politicians, and build power locally. But by 2014, it had become clear that the MRAB wasn't enough. It only does 100 buildings a year, which means it would take 35 years to audit all the buildings. And it's not enforcing property standards or cracking down on bad landlords. We need proactive enforcement, which would be achieved best, Acorn believes, by color-coded signs and financial penalties for bad landlords. Acorn continues to have lots of actions across the city from 2014 to 2017, a lot of meetings with councilors, a lot of surveys with tenants, and many reports and town hall meetings were organized, many of which I'm sure some of you attended. But we've been getting stronger and stronger throughout this process, growing together as a group and building membership and building local power. Until finally, in 2016-17, we won a program called Rent Safe, which charges landlords fees per units, which is used to fund property inspectors. It originally was said to include color-coded signs, like we wanted, as well as door-to-door tenant engagement, a parking ticket-like penalty for landlords for automatic financial penalties, and remedial actions available if a landlord doesn't do repairs, which would basically be the city does them and then puts the bill on the property tax. However, as you know, the color-coded signs have not really been rolled out. Fast forward to 2018, when a massive apartment fire at 650 Parliament left thousands of families displaced. Acorn members living there asked for support, and so we went to bat for them, and we ended up winning these families space in hotels and then new apartments paid for by the owners. But this seriously shows that Rent Safe must be improved. So at that point, we started fighting for those improvements. In 2019, we finally got a report from city staff on Rent Safe. And we also heard from allies that the city has not hired the full amount of staff that they were supposed to. We responded quickly, launched a report on our tenant surveys, as well as a press conference, and attended votes at City Hall. We want a timeline at last on creating color-coded signs for Rent Safe, commitment on hiring staff, commitment on a relocation plan for tenants who are affected by fires, and a commitment on implementing a tenant engagement program. During COVID, we won new bylaws to require hand sanitizer, building staff wear PPE, and so forth, but it's clear that the city is not taking the Healthy Homes issue seriously. In December 2020, the City Council voted against the color-coded signs that we had been promised way back when for Rent Safe and that we've been fighting for ever since. We spent 2021 meeting with councilors, finally winning inclusionary zoning, and now we are perfectly positioned to renew the fight on Healthy Homes. Remember, this is an election year. We know one thing: The people united will never be defeated, and Acorn doesn't stop fighting until we win. With renovictions increasing, affordable housing under attack, and 2 elections next year, Acorn members are united in focusing on protecting affordable housing by making sure that all tenants have the healthy home they deserve. We continue to see tenants face tons of issues, including all of the people here in their apartment buildings in every chapter. We continue to organize and put pressure on landlords. So, for the future, I will pass it on to Kemba to go over our healthy homes demands for 2022 going forward. Is Kemba here to take the mic?
Another call for Kemba?
I can just keep reading if Kemba's not here.
Okay.
All right, I'll just proceed then. So moving on into our healthy homes demands for 2022. Color-coded signs, as we've mentioned a bunch of times before, a building rating system similar to DineSafe with signs that clearly display the building rating and advertising 311 for any tenant issues. The signs would inform tenants of their rights, health and safety concerns, and about the rent-safe system. 2, increase the budget for rent-safe to hire more bylaw officers. The city recently looked at licensing rooming houses across the city. Under that draft proposal, the city would have hired 28 property inspectors for 350 rooming houses. RentSafe also has 28 property inspectors, but RentSafe has 3,500 buildings. So that ratio is 10 times lower and clearly inadequate. The ratio of bylaw officers to buildings must at least match what the city proposed for rooming houses. So what we're proposing is that there need to be at least 100 rent-safe staff by the end of this year and a plan to move to 280 over time. This could be done through a mix of increased funding from general revenues, increasing rent-safe fees charged to landlords, and fines for bad landlords. 3, financial penalties for bad landlords. There should be mandatory remedial action. If after 14 to 28 days, depending on the nature of the repair, the landlord has not dealt with the violation, the city should undertake remedial action and then simply bill the owner for the repair, similar to the new Westminster bylaw for renovictions. Buildings under a score of 50 must face automatic remedial action. The city could use the existing TCH Facilities Management Group, which has a list of pre-qualified contractors ready for repair work. 4, licensing landlords, and this I think is a big one. The city should move towards a landlord licensing regime. When you need a license to operate a hot dog cart, you should need one to own a building and for people's homes. Cities like New Westminster and BC have licensed landlords, for example, already, and licensing is required to tackle issues like renovictions. It also just offers immediately obvious remedies for major issues because the landlord can lose their license, and that is a really strong incentive for them to do the right thing. And finally, there should be a separate phone line for RentSafe, a purely separate phone line that people can call, which would make it easier for tenants to make complaints and to make responses quicker. There was a separate line for RentSafe created under the MRAB, or before RentSafe was created under the MRAB. So that is something that we should bring back, and that would make a big difference. Continuing with number 6, we want to fix the inspection system for evaluation. The building evaluation process should include tenant complaints, property standards violations, and the length of time it takes to get repairs done, work orders, in-suite inspections, and speaking to tenants directly, not just common area inspections. These inspectors should not just be coming and talking to the management and then poking around the lobby. That is not sufficient. They need to be going to people's apartments and looking where the problems are. This could be done by implementing the $60,000 tenant engagement originally approved by the Council for RentSafe. Finally, retrofits and aging high-rises. Acorn recognizes the urgent nature of the climate crisis and that actions need to be taken immediately that are based on energy equity. Retrofitting Toronto's aging high-rise communities from resident-led perspective is an important step in achieving energy equity. 55% of emissions in cities come from buildings. 29% of that is from large apartment buildings and condos and their use of old appliances, leaky windows, old electrical systems, and natural gas heating. Voluntary measures are not enough here. We need to catalyze transformative action towards net zero emissions using mandatory requirements. There's a big risk here that retrofit costs will be passed on to lower income tenants though. So to avoid this and to meet Toronto's net zero targets, we want to explore creating minimum efficiency standards and categories within RentSafe and or within the landlord licensing system to ensure that the cost of retrofits will not be passed down to tenants. Similar jurisdictions in Europe use categories to ban rent increases and new rentals in substandard or lower energy efficiency buildings. And we could do something like that. We want to support landlords in accessing retrofit funding to improve energy efficiency. Financing conditions would again be that landlords not pass any costs on to their tenants. And finally, we would require landlords as a part of RentSafe or the landlord licensing program to demonstrate that no additional costs as a result of retrofitting have been passed on to tenants. So they would have to prove to the satisfaction of the RentSafe team that they are not passing on any costs. And that would be an important way of making sure that these retrofits are done using the excess profits that the landlords are bringing in from their tenants rather than a cause of increases in rent. Now we were going to go to the speakers, but I see that the speakers have already spoken in our little rejig. So I think where we're going next are any counselors that may want to speak and haven't already. I think this is the moment for that before we move to the Q&A.
Oh, Gordon, I just received notice from Sharon that Councillor Peruz is having some tech issues, but we're going to go ahead, skip him for now, and go to Z. Z is from ACTO. Z, are you on the line?
Hi, I'm here.
Oh, hi Z. You can go ahead whenever you're ready.
Okay, sure. Sorry, I'm having a few issues with my camera this evening. But good evening, everyone. For those who don't know who we are, I am from the Low Income Energy Network, also known as LEAN. And here in Ontario, LEAN is widely recognized as the primary go-to organization with expertise on low-income energy issues. LEAN is a joint program of two specialty community legal clinics, ACTO and CELA. ACTO is the Advocacy Centre for Tenants Ontario, and CELA is the Canadian Environmental Law Association. ACTO works hard to ensure ongoing housing affordability and tenant protection. CELA has, amongst other things, been calling for increased radon protection measures in people's homes, as well as the removal of lead from drinking water. So LEAN's focus is actually on reducing energy bills of low-income consumers and ensuring that they're provided with the opportunity and tools to better manage their energy bills. So in Ontario, obviously, we have an aging housing stock, rising energy costs, as well as increasing demand for affordable housing. And lower income translates to less housing choices and often rental units in need of major repair, as we've heard. And unfit conditions in housing are not only a source of discomfort and inconvenience, but also negatively affect people's physical and mental health. Many low-income households also are unable to pay their energy bills, and they may be forced to cut necessities like food or medicine to pay those bills or endure unhealthy temperatures. And as changing climate lengthens our summers, there are more scorching hot days, and those who lack air conditioning or can't afford it are in danger. And as we know, heat-related deaths are on the rise worldwide. Housing is also a substantial contributor to climate change, and large homes generally use more energy, but lower income homes are often less energy efficient, which makes them a lot more costly to heat and cool. So what we need to do is retrofit existing units or construct new affordable housing. And what this will accomplish is it would reduce energy consumption, therefore reduce energy bills and leading to increased energy affordability and housing affordability. It would also reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and it'll improve building quality and increased comfort and health and quality of life for tenants. So, I mean, in general, deep energy retrofits improve indoor air quality, they improve comfort, they reduce condensation and mold. So if better housing saves money, makes residents healthier and more comfortable, and improves air quality and decreases greenhouse gas emissions, then why don't we have more of it? So one reason is that those who pay for improvements, landlord or government agencies, often aren't the ones directly benefiting from living in drafty homes with cleaner, in a less drafty home with cleaner air. So in conclusion, low-income communities are among the most vulnerable to the impacts of climate change. Housing, climate, and health are inherently interconnected, and as such, policymakers at the municipal, provincial, and federal level need to take action to build a more equitable housing sector while working towards a zero carbon, healthy future that benefits all of us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, C. That was so good to hear. We really appreciate your perspective when it comes to healthy homes and the environment and climate change. That was really powerful, and we appreciate all of the info that you gave. So we'll just now go to we've heard from C, and I'm just going to see if our other speaker is available now. Councillor Perusa, do we have you on the line? No? Okay, not a problem. We will now go to the next portion of the town hall, which is something that everyone's been eagerly waiting for, and that is our Q&A. So thank you to everyone for being on here tonight. We're going to try to get in some questions, but please keep in mind that not everybody will be able to speak tonight, unfortunately, but if you do have any questions, you can put them in the chat and ask Sharon to follow up, and we'll go from there. Without any further ado, I am going to call on some people who've had their hands up for a while. Oh, actually, we just had a quick comment. Just so you guys know, NDP MPP Tom Rakosevic is on the line. He heard about our meeting and he just wanted to say a quick hello and thank Acorn members for their local advocacy. He's got a lot of meetings going on right now, like more than one at once, so he's got to go back and forth between meetings. But Tom, thank you so much for that message. That's lovely to hear. So thank you to NDP MPP Tom Rakosevic. We really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. So we'll go to the Q&A now, and we'll start with someone who's pretty much had his hand up since the beginning of the meeting, and we always appreciate his questions and feedback, and that's Ali. Ali, are you on the line?
Yes, I'm on the line. Good evening to everybody.
Hello.
And thank you very much for the organizing of this meeting. I'm very happy that I heard one of the councillors talking about the issues for the next year's election. One of the things that I may suggest is that, as he mentioned, the goals and the plans that maybe Acorn can put forward should be practical enough. as he mentioned, some of the issues that can be addressed more quickly and more, let's say, pragmatically by the councillors or by the council through the voting, or maybe for the new election, these issues should be prioritized. I mean, they should be put in the more important actually situation. Some of the issues, like as you said, safety, home licensing, and the other things are very important. So we should focus on something which is more achievable, according to the counselor that he was talking. I forgot his name. The counselor that talked, and maybe he left. You know, the goals should be achievable and more practical.
That sounds good, Ali. You're mentioning achievable and practical goals. I was just wondering now that you mentioned achievable and practical goals. If we could have MPP Rakocevic speak, if he's available. Tom, are you on the line?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, hello. Thank you so much for joining us. You got a very busy evening, so we really appreciate your time. I'm just wondering if you could speak to what Ali mentioned about achievable and practical goals, and maybe what your suggestions would be for getting our Healthy Homes campaign with Rent Safe and whatnot move forward. I know you can't speak as much from the municipal level as the provincial level, but
I just wanted to offer some words of encouragement and a real thank you. Very recently, you probably heard of some incredible Acorn work that was done in the Jane and Finch area. There were a number of families that were facing eviction when it was -20 outside and just terrible. And it was Acorn that worked to get the word out there, and I was able to help and work with Acorn, and we were able to keep those people in their homes. I also want to give a big shout out to my Auntie Maze, who's on this call. I see her right there. So I just want to tell you that in our Jane and Finch community in Humber River Black Creek, we have some incredible Acorn organizers. I was a tenant for more than 30 years. I grew up as a tenant. Tenant rights is what got me interested in politics. And of course, I chose the NDP because they're very strong when it comes to tenant issues and fighting for the most vulnerable. So in terms of deliverables, there are many different ways in which Acorn and its members are able to fight. Everything from reaching out to elected representatives for their work within the community, the meetings that you do, what you do out on the ground, the actions that you take. There's so many different ways in which you do this. So, and Acorn has always been punching above their weight. You've had a huge impact on everything from policies like the Rent Safe. I used to work with Councillor Anthony Peruza. We worked hand in hand to bring in policies and to fight for issues at the City of Toronto, to basically help and fight for tenant rights. And what I've learned through Acorn and my own experiences, I bring to legislature. So there's a lot of things that can be done. But I think that Acorn is an incredible and important and vital voice for the rights of tenants and others. It just goes on and on. What you've been doing with regards to Money Mart, these people that are charging huge interest rates, going after people who are in great financial need and preying on people with these predatory lenders. It goes on and on and on. But I think you have had an incredible success, and you've helped fight for the most vulnerable in the city. So I'd heard about this meeting literally moments before it started. I am at a couple of meetings tonight, but I just wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart and tell you how important you are for all of us, and what you fight for reaches everywhere from the halls of City Hall all the way up to the province of Ontario and beyond. So I just want to encourage you to keep doing the good fight, because you are helping improve people's lives in the city and beyond. And that's all.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate your feedback, Tom, and your support and encouragement. It's greatly appreciated. We'll definitely keep your words in mind, and we really appreciate the support. Now to go to our next question. I see that Dan has had his hand up. Dan, are you on the line?
I am. Yes, I am. Just give me a second here.
Oh, sure.
I wasn't ready. Didn't know you were going to call me right away. But you know what? I am a member of Acorn. I've been at several your functions as well, right? You know, and I have over 4 decades of building management experience, and I've done everything from commercial to residential. One of the places I was in charge of was at 2425 Jane north of Wilson. And the last building I was the building manager for was the Park Plaza. So full scale, full rail. Plus I've experienced homelessness in my time more than once. One of the things, this color coded system for the landlords is fantastic, but it has to have teeth. Right, you know, when it was implemented for the restaurant system, right, it had immediate economic costs to the proprietors. The reason that landlords will not neglect their responsibilities mainly is because they can get away with it, and it is to their profitability. Once you take that away from them, they're going to have to adhere more often. Problem with that system is you're going to get a lot of people that don't want to be landlords either, right? So, you know, as much as we're going to do the stick, we need the carrot as well, right? To get people on board. We need to increase the amount of housing that there is in the city, right? And to make low rent housing more expensive to people is no incentive for any of these people that are putting their money out to buy properties and stuff like that to actually open it up to low level people. Now, if you did something where they get, you know, maybe this is all suggestions, I'm open to new suggestions, but also, you know, like maybe they get a tax break system or a tax increase if they don't comply with the things that they're wanting to do, that we need them to do. And they get a tax break, or, you know, some way that it monetarily is to their advantage to adhere to these things, right? You know, these landlords need to make money as well, or else they're not going to provide these places for us.
Dan, I'm sorry to interrupt. I really appreciate what you're saying with the penalizing bad landlords through taxes. That's a really good point, and it's good that you mentioned that. This meeting's being recorded, so we can definitely keep that in mind. We're going to move very quickly to Ula. She's had her hand up for the bulk of the meeting. Ula, just to let you know, we do have an action to get to before 8. So if we could hear from you, and if it could be maybe about 2 minutes, that would be awesome. And that sounds great. And we're looking forward to hearing from you. Ula?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that we are all time talking about repairs and so on. The healthy home is also the smells, the cold non-working thermostats, and the disturbance of the neighbors. Like I have lost my health due to upstairs for 7 years. No help from the city. That it's not only the repairs you can see. It should be the manager making sure that people are following the bylaws, and the city also being in there and not labeling everybody cuckoo or unstable, mentally unstable who complains. And that's part, in my mind, of the healthy homes.
Ula, sorry. Thank you, Ula, so much for mentioning that. No, it's we really appreciate your feedback. And as I mentioned before, you know, this meeting is being recorded, so we're glad to see your participation, definitely. Next, we'll quickly go to Megan. Megan, just to let you know, we have about 2 minutes, and you can go ahead whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Hi, my actual name, it's pronounced Mayangan.
Oh,
That's
Megan.
First Nations. Sorry. I don't know where you got that from, but what my concern is, I think his name was it Dan?
Dan, yeah, he with the tax break or
Yes,
tax
my
ID.
concern is that basically this property is kind of owned by Greenwind, but yet it's run apparently by housing. But soon in this area, they're going back to TCHC ownership, and Greenwind has no more affiliation with the building. So my concern, the extreme concern, is things that I've asked for have not been basically done. So when TCHC comes back, are they going to get done or are they not? That's my biggest concern.
That's a very valid concern. I wish that we had somebody from the city available to answer that, or somebody from TCHC, a counselor. Unfortunately, we don't have them, but that is a really good question, and we'll definitely record that and keep that in mind. And I see. Also, we've got another hand up. We've got Natasha. Natasha, actually, before I ask Natasha, I'm so sorry, Natasha. This is a question and answer, and we don't necessarily need to have the counselors available as knowledgeable as they may be. We've got a lot of also very knowledgeable Acorn members on the call. So what was just asked, I'm going to turn that over to see if someone like Marcia or Alejandra might have some insight on that. Marcia or Alejandra, if either of you ladies would like to comment on what Megan said.
If I heard correctly, it's this is an issue that's related with Toronto community housing. Is that correct?
My understanding was that, oh yes, there's Megan said.
And that
yes.
This process of changing management has already happened here in my building. What I will say to you is that for many years we were complaining about Greenwind management. They were basically the city contracted out building management and administration to these private management companies, and it ended up in a disaster. This is one of the main reasons why Toronto Community Housing has decided to no longer give those contracts and to take charge in a vertical way. So to take responsibility from the complaint system to get these maintenance and repairs to get it done, right? So what my experience has been here at 200 Wellesley, that actually that has improved the service in Toronto Community Housing. And I really encourage you to get engaged into the, or to learn rather, how to use the complaint system that we have in Toronto Community Housing, and write down the track number that they give you, because with that track number, you can call back if the maintenance is not being done properly, and they can come back and redo it. But my experience has been that once Toronto Community Housing is taking control from of the buildings, things actually have gotten a little bit better for my, and that began like about a couple of years ago. So I really encourage you to get into this complaint system, right? Get your complaints done, follow through with this track number system, and you will get it done. That's for sure. So that's all I can say.
Thank you so much, Alejandro. We really appreciate your feedback. That's really, really valuable to hear, definitely. Next, we'll quickly go to Natasha. Natasha, if you don't mind just making it super quick, and anything that you may want to follow up with, you can just put in the chat and let Sharon know, and she'll definitely get back to you. Over to you, Natasha.
Okay, yeah, just two things. One, the property tax, as you know, REITs get property tax reductions, and that's caused a lot of problems, and I won't get into it, but I caught my landlord, basically, it's become a much bigger issue, trying to pretend it's their revenue and harass tenants and illegally try to evict them for lowering property taxes. So the city lowered property taxes, and because it's a REIT and heritage property, and anyways, so that doesn't always work. And I can send you articles on that because the federal government is looking into that. The second thing is that if you complain against landlords, like whether it's bed bugs or, you know, whether it's a lot of other illegal things that they do in the building. Like I was living in Hyde Park, and it's not a small building, but they were doing renovations like gas and electrical, and they don't have licensed contractors. So there's no oversight of making sure that landlords are following what they're supposed to do. And if you complain, then they start filing eviction notices against you. And as you know, the landlord tenant board is a complete entire mess. So if you don't have oversight, then none of it matters, because landlords can just throw an eviction notice against you. And if you can't fight it for whatever reason, I mean, the South Landlord Tenant Board has been put in a Wellesley. It's not, forget COVID, it's not even accessible by someone. I'm just using that as an example. So if you're a person with disabilities, and of course the pandemic has now made everything, you know, virtual. But I'm just saying that there are a lot of landlords who then harass tenants because there's no oversight, and if you complain about it, then you're the one who's targeted by the landlord even more. So.
Oh, Natasha, thank you so much. I'm sorry to interrupt. Just looking at the time, we do appreciate, though, you know, mentioning that it's good to have oversight, but that can be threatened when you get these private landlords in place. We really appreciate your feedback and knowledge on that. Thank you so much. And again, if you have anything further you'd like to say, please let Sharon know and she'll follow up. We have time for one last question. That will come from Shelly Ann, and then we're going to move to our action. I'm so sorry for those who didn't get to ask the question. You can still put it in the chat, and the organizers can get back to you, but I'll stop talking. Quickly over to Shelly Ann. Shelly Ann, you can go ahead whenever you're ready.
Okay, my question is, right, when your landlord decide to change the keys on the building, like, I don't know if I'm calling the word correctly, fob, right? They change the keys to fob. Who is responsible for paying for that fob?
Oh, okay. Can anyone answer that? It's about, you know, the tenant is. Shelly Ann, Glorious and Felisa are both saying that the tenant is responsible for the fob.
But wait a minute, Rhea, can I ask the question? But wouldn't if they've changed the locks on the building, isn't it the landlord's responsibility? Just like when you move in your apartment, you get a set of keys, right? So if they changed it, wouldn't be their responsibility to give the tenant a fob, but if they lose it or something happens, then they would have to pay for it. Because my daughter lives in a building that has a fob, right? I'm not on her lease, but I wasn't on her lease, but they knew I lived there because I babysat. I lived with her and I babysat my grandchild. So she said to her, so she just gave her a fob for me. So I had access and I could come in and out of the house while she was at work. So if she loses the fob, then she would have to pay to replace the fob, is what I understand. So if they changed it, then it should be their responsibility to give the tenants a fob to get in the building initially, right?
That makes sense. Shelly Ann, did you heard what Marcia said?
Yes, I heard what she said.
Oh, good. Okay. we're going to have to, I'm so sorry to cut this short because this is a really good question and answer session, but we do have to move on to our action. We're going to have a small action for about 5 minutes. We're going to fill out the online action for Healthy Homes, which Sharon will add in the chat. If you fill out the online action and submit it, our Healthy Homes demands get sent to your local counselor and Mayor John Tory. Since the mayor is not here, we have to let him know what our demands are. He should be here, but he's not. So let's fill out our online action and submit it now. We're also going to be calling the mayor's office to let him know what our demands are. Sharon will share the phone number on the screen with our brief demands. If it's a voicemail that you get, you can leave a voicemail that asks the mayor to have a meeting with Acorn to discuss our demands. You can just follow the script on the screen for that voicemail. But if you're speaking to representatives, you can let them know what our demands are and that we want a meeting with the mayor to discuss our demands for Healthy Homes. We'll also put that script on the screen. The phone number and the script are on the screen now. And I am just going to take 5 minutes and turn it over to Alejandra. She's going to do an example call. So if everyone could please turn their attention to Alejandra, she'll walk us through what we need to do for the action. Alejandra?
Hi, everybody. This has been awesome to hear so many good scenes and so many bad scenes, but this is a reality and this is why we're going to fight. Yeah, so I'm going to call John Tory right now. And this is when he answered that. Normally they don't answer, but let's say somebody answered, but at this time I doubt it. So you will say something like, hello, my name is, in this case, Alejandra, and a member of Acorn. And we will say all this spiel that we are tenants that our orders, repairs have been ignored, old and broken appliance, pest issues, malls, and more. So we are fighting for healthy homes, and every tenant deserves a healthy home. Our demands for healthy homes campaigns are landlord licensing, color code signs, or rating systems for apartment buildings, financial penalties for landlords in violation, more funding for rent safe to get more by law officers, and more. So will Mayor Tory support this? Again, at this time of the night, probably no one is going to answer, but the awesome thing, and you need to know that this is awesome, is that we're going to jam their phones because 72 people are tonight, 72 people are going to call. When tomorrow he come back to work, there will be 72 calls doing and asking the same thing. So they're going to be like, what is this? And they're going to say, you need to do something. Look at these people is calling, you know? So I need to give me 2 minutes because I need to bring my phone. One moment, please. So I'm ready. So sorry for the delay. Okay, so what is the phone here? So we're going to call 416 461. So 416 461 9233.
No, oh, sorry, Alejandro. That's
No,
the
it's not?
no, that's the Acorn office number. It's
Oh, so sorry.
no, it's okay.
Yes.
It's just on the screen there.
Oh, okay. Look, I'm going to call Acorn to leave this message. Yes, nice. So 416 397 2489. I say right, finally. Going to put in a speakerphone.
The office of the mayor. We are open Monday to Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., excluding statutory holidays. If you require immediate assistance from the City of Toronto regarding services such as waste collection, snow removal, or road safety, press 1 to speak with a 311 customer service representative.
Are you hearing?
For assistance regarding Toronto Community Housing, press 2 to speak with a Toronto Community Housing representative. To order a proclamation, a letter of greeting, or a congratulatory letter signed by the mayor, press 3. For our email or mailing address, press 4. To speak to a member of the mayor's office staff, press 5. To leave a... Wait while I transfer your call. Hello, and thank you for calling the office of the mayor. We are open Monday to Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., excluding statutory holidays. Sorry, we are unable to take your call at this time. Please leave your name, number, and a brief message after the tone, and we will return your call as soon as we can. Thank you. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Oh, hi, my name is Alejandra, and I am a member of Acorn. So we are here at this moment, 67 people that want to give you a message. So tenants all over the city are living with work orders being ignored. You know that. Repairs not being done, old and broken appliance, pest issues, molds, and more. We are fighting for healthy homes. Every tenant deserves a healthy home. Our demands for the Healthy Homes campaign are landlord licensing, color code signs, or rating systems for apartment buildings, financial penalties for landlords in violation, more funding for rent safe to get more by law officers, and more. So please, can you call us Acorn Canada, our office, so we can discuss all together and work for a better Toronto? 416-461-5322, and again 416-461-5322. So have a good day tomorrow when you see 67 people that are going to call you and leave you the same message. Take care. Bye-bye.
And old and broken appliances, pest issues, molds, and more. We're fighting for healthy homes. Every tenant deserves a healthy home. Our demands for the Healthy Homes campaign are landlord licensing, color-coded signs or rating system for apartment buildings, financial penalties for landlords in violation, more funding for rent safe to get more bylaw officers, and more. You can call the Acorn Canada office to discuss more at 416-461-5322. Thank you. Bye. Did everyone get a chance to get in touch with the mayor's office? I'm assuming that everybody pretty much left a voicemail. I guess they're closed right now, but hopefully we flooded their inbox and they'll be in for some information tomorrow morning. That's for sure, which is good. That's what we want. Now I think we're ready to just mention that if you haven't already completed the tenant survey that Caitlin and Sharon provided in the chat, please do. If you haven't already called the mayor's office to let them know our Healthy Homes demands, please do. And also please note that we do have an action coming up next Tuesday, February 1st at 11 a.m. It's the Healthy Homes City Hall action. If you can join, please let us know in the chat. That would be great. We'd really like to see everyone there. Again, that's next Tuesday, February 1st at 11 a.m. That is the Healthy Homes City Hall action. If you could make it, that would be wonderful.
Good evening, Mayor Tory. My name is Bob Murphy. I'm the chair of Acorn Weston, and we're calling this evening to emphasize the fact that City of Toronto needs more funding for rent safe, and we need to get more bylaw officers. We have 3,500 buildings and we have 31 inspectors, and they're just looking through the common areas of these buildings. Bob Murphy, Acorn, 647-832-2835.
That sounded awesome, Bob. Thank you so much for getting through. And I hope everyone, if you can't call tonight, if you can get through tomorrow, hey, if someone can get through to a live person, that's even better. But we'll see what we get. Hopefully we get a response from the office, because a lot of people have called. And like Alejandra said, we had almost 80 people on the call. So, you know, if we can get some feedback from them, that would be good, because, you know, they should have been here tonight, but we'll make sure they hear what we're talking about, because it's important. So just want to say thank you everyone for coming to the forum. Acorn is a community group made up of people who are passionate about bringing social change, social justice, and economic justice in our communities. We believe in the power of numbers, and we know for a fact that when people come together, we can always bring in lots of positive change. But the only way we can keep fighting for important issues like healthy homes, affordable housing, affordable internet, childcare, raising the minimum wage, and more is if we all get involved and show support. Sharon will add the link to our website in the chat, and also our phone number. So whoever wants to get more involved with our campaigns and fight together as a community can reach out. I know how important Acorn is, you know, getting involved. I always thought pre-Acorn, I always thought that, you know, the odds are just going to be stacked against us permanently and there's nothing we can do. Well, I'm so glad that's not the case anymore. I'm so glad that we have that, you know, that strength in numbers, and it feels good to know that. So that's one of the great reasons why a lot of people have joined Acorn and continue to lend support to our campaigns. Thanks everyone for being here tonight, for being on the call. Everybody was amazing with their questions, with their testimonials, with their comments in the chat. Looking forward to hopefully seeing many people on the 1st at City Hall, and we'll go from there. And yeah, it's 8 o'clock, so good timing. And that's it. Thank you guys so much. If you want to get in touch with the office, if you have any further comments or questions, please get in touch with Caitlin or Sharon, and hope to see everybody out on Tuesday. Hope everyone stays warm and healthy, and we'll all talk soon. All right. Bye, guys.
Hello.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. And remember, everybody, we'll be social distancing on Tuesday at the event. So social distancing and wear a mask on Tuesday when we show up at City Hall.
That's a good point, Marcia. We don't take any risks with our health. We're a very responsible group. We've always done that, and we will continue to do so.